Warning: if you have never played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it's best to turn off this video now. It will be full of major spoilers. Not just the ending, I won't hide anything. Go and play it. If you're currently going through a breakup or dealing with loss, feel free to skip Xenoblade 1 and 2, go straight to the third game if you want. However, people are so obsessed with spoilers that they forget. Sometimes they can actually be helpful. Sometimes spoilers have pushed me to play games I would have otherwise never tried. If you're someone who wasn't planning to play Xenoblade 3 in the next decade, you can keep watching. Maybe this is exactly what you need. Right now I'm going through the stage of accepting two losses: the death of the close one relative and a breakup of 6-year relationship at the same time. It feels like this game is about me, and maybe about you too. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 tells the story of Ionios, a world with two warring nations, Agnus and Kevas. Interestingly, Agnus translates from Latin as lamb, while Kevas translates to exact same thing, but from Hebrew. People from Kevas and Agnus must kill their enemies. Only by taking lives they can continue living. If they don't, they die. But even if they are successful in battle, they live only for 10 years, after which they undergo the homecoming, the ritual where their life is returning to the queen who supposedly gave it to them. I won't dive too deeply into the theme of war, which also runs through Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but I will say this. These two nations don't even know what they are fighting for. They just fight to keep living. And the death of their friends fueled their motivation. That's why, when the main characters first meet, they blame each other for killing their friends and comrades. In real wars it works the same way. Sometimes soldiers refuse to end conflict because too many of their comrades have died. They don't want to think that continuing the war won't bring them back. It will only multiply the number of fallen and fuel an even greater thirst for revenge. Ionios is a world of pain and suffering. Your entire life is spent killing and watching those ones close to you die brutal death. Whether you live just a year or for 10, it's never enough. In over 100 hours of gameplay, I never saw a single romantic story between people from these two nations. They simply don't have time to fall in love or form attachment. Most likely they don't even understand what intimacy is, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of suffering and incompleteness that defines their world. So far, this has been just general introduction for those who have never played Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Without it, they wouldn't understand what comes next. I'm warning you a second and last time. If you're afraid of spoilers, turn off the video now. Because what follows is about the ending, but only in my interpretation. And for some, it might hurt. So, you still here? In the end, it turns out that some of the main antagonists are actually the main characters, or rather, their previous versions. You see, Ionios is a world created from the fusion of two worlds from the previous games. Noah and Mio, the protagonists, met a long time ago and fell deeply in love. A true, overwhelming love. But Mio died. She died and Noah couldn't bear the loss. At least this version of Noah. those who played the game already knew, everyone else will soon understand. Noah was given a choice. Do you want to live in an endless now? In a world where there is no yesterday, no tomorrow, only a single endless moment in which Mio is still alive. This choice is presented to Noah as two paths: to live and accept the loss, or to sacrifice anything to be with the one he loves. Noah rejected this choice many times, choosing the other path. But in the end, he suffered so much that he finally said yes. He chose a world where everyone else would suffer so that he could be with Mio. A world where they would become Mobius. They would live forever as long as they fed on the lives of others. And for that, there had to be an eternal war. Agnes and Kevs had to die frequently to sustain Mobius with their souls, if you wish to call it that. And upon death, after giving up their energy, they would reborn, only to die again and again and again. And if they lived too long, they would still die after 10 years, feeding Mobius once more before being reborn. This rebirth doesn't create clones. It's literally the same people, just without their memories. But if one of them ever becomes Mobius, all those memories returns, merging their lives into a single identity. Noah and Mio weren't spared this fate. They kept being reborn, even if their old previous versions continue to exist. The Noah and Mio we play are the same people that Mobius N and Mobius M, the ones who choose the endless now, but they suffer just like everyone else. And in this world of endless pain, where there is no time for love, where you can only rip the heads off your enemies and watch them do the same to your friends for nothing, our new Noah and Mio meet and fall in love. A pure, innocent love with barely any time to live.
Wamba.
So close to making it. Thank you for doing this with me.
If you've played the game, you've probably noticed that I'm focusing only on one aspect of the story, one tiny piece, and turning it into the absolute. So if it bothers you that I'm ignoring other important elements, feel free to discuss it in comment section, or just close the video. But right now, I almost physically cannot think about anything else, and that's how I will present this story. You see, this entire world of suffering exists partly because Noah, now known as Consul Anne, couldn't accept the loss of Mio, now known as Consul M. Anne simply refuses to let her go. Blinded by this one desire, he didn't see that Mio was suffering. She didn't hate him, she still loved him too, but she suffered beside him. She didn't want to live in this empty world at the cost of the others' lives, trapped in the painful illusions of her beloved, who had changed so much that she barely recognized him. He was fixated on this endless now in which Mio didn't want to exist, but couldn't live. I think you already see where this is going. What happened to them? This is not a game review or a retrospective. I'm intentionally skipping many plot twists. If you want to experience the full story, play the game. I am returning to our Noah and Mio, the ones we control on screen, and the final part of their journey. When the heroes defeat the consuls and the main antagonist, Noah faced the same question. Do you want to stay in the endless now? If the final step is taken, Ionios will split back into two worlds. Every piece will return to its place. Every person will return to their world. Noah will go to the world of the first Xenoblade and Mio to the world of the second. Their love, pure and perfect, tested across countless lifetimes, is doomed. Noah and Mio will never see each other again. So, Noah, will you keep the endless now with Mio, or will you let her go? You already see the painful allegory, don't you? And Noah chooses to let go, because it's the right choice. Just keep moving forward, even if you don't know where to go. I'm not saying this is the meaning of the story for everyone. When someone close to me passed away and the person I love, the one who was the meaning of my life, left me broken and shattered, beyond the tears and panic attacks I searched for games that could help me deal with these feelings. I've got plenty of recommendations. Doom Eternal, Dark Souls, no, to vent my rage or something. But I don't feel rage. That woman didn't wound me, at least not beyond the last few months and the moment of breakup when she could have been more honest with me. But I understand her needs. I just wasn't able to give her what she needed. I want her to be happy. It's just that I'm shattered. I want to hear something meaningful, and those recommendations weren't for me. When my relative was dying, it felt more like Silent Hill 2, you know? The way it shows that caring for someone who is seriously ill can be incredibly difficult, but they still need your love and patience. If you don't give it, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. But if your heart is broken, if you're going through a breakup, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is the game that will tell you exactly what you need to hear. When I thought of this game, I asked people on Reddit what they felt about the story. I heard many things. Some had gone through painful breakups like me, others said it saved them from suicide, reminding that they should live a long life. So don't be disappointed in my words, your experience might be different. The first time I played this game, my partner had almost stopped talking to me. I was afraid that everything was leading to a breakup, and the game's ending felt like a happy ending to me. A sign of hope. We will definitely see each other again. But now when I return to it, Xenoblade 3 tells me something completely different. It tells me, let go. You have to let go, or everyone around you will suffer. It teaches insight because you can't just take those words and apply them into your life like they're a magic pill for your pain. I'm not trying to get her back, because she would suffer too. She definitely wanted to detach from me. She will be better off without me. She wants to move on. Let her. If you think this is a story about my healing, it's not. I'm still just as broken and shattered. Xenoblade didn't save me. Too little time has passed, and recording this text only distracted me from the pain for a few hours, nothing more. But this story tells me that I have to accept breakup. Not for myself, but for others. For her. For the one I still wish the best for, even if my heart is broken and even if we'll never heal. No one should suffer alongside me, especially those I love and wish the best for. When the worlds are separated again and the main characters return to their worlds, they will be only left with memories. No magical reunions, no happy endings, just memories. Like them, you will have to accept this for the greater good. You know, I've tried several times to rewrite my thoughts, reflecting on different stages of grief. The thing is, most of what I said in this video was written too early, at a time when I was still idealizing my ex, believing she was perfect inside and out. And my heart hurt so much that I thought I wouldn't survive it. Back then I felt like I deserved to suffer. I knew she felt relief, freedom, new opportunities opening up before her, while I was sitting in a dark pit filled with pain. Back then, I didn't want to stop suffering. Now, I do. I want to feel better. I want to get through this. That's why I decided to leave my words unchanged, because they were my raw, real emotions. But I also wanted to add this part. This knowledge came to me later, and the truth is, for me, just like for you, if you're going through something similar, you will have to move forward. Right now you're in pain, and that pain, those wounds, those scars left on you might never fully disappear. But your choices are limited. If you are not planning to do something terrible to yourself, and I truly believe that deep down you don't want to, then you have to keep living. It's inevitable, just like the breakup itself was inevitable. It hurts so much because you didn't just lose a person, you lost an entire world that was tied to them. Maybe it was shared interests, mutual friends, dreams of the future, and now you feel helpless. That means you need to learn how to walk again. Crawl down the old path and maybe one day you'll be able to stand. Right now you're blind, unsure of where to go, but if you just keep moving forward, even at random, eventually the light will break through and you'll start to see the blurry outlines of trees around you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see a new path. A path worth taking. A path where you'll take your first unsteady steps into something new. Because if you're in right state of mind, this is exactly what the game is trying to tell you, and I want you to hear something, maybe for the first time, maybe once again. I hope that these words filled with hope can help someone more than they've helped me. This is the truth of our world. Memories melt in the morning light, and then a new day begins. Roads stretch out before us, so many paths. Which do you choose? It's up to you. Sometimes you may run astray. You'll stop, maybe cry in frustration. But you know, that's alright. For the roads, they go on without end. So look up, face forward, toward the chosen horizon, and just walk on.